Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oh, sorry, force a habit. Let's try that again. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So as you can see by the title of today's video, I went around and asked college students basically what they've been struggling with, right? I feel like a lot of times people don't really talk about the struggles that college students face, especially in a pandemic and post-pandemic. I feel like there's a lot of things that people are going through and have gone through, and we don't really shed light on it as much. I feel like we kind of let it happen and slide past it, but being a college student is really hard, especially in this generation, and so many things going on. We need to talk more about it and have more conversations about it because I feel like college students don't really get enough light shed on the things that they're going through. I hope you guys like it, and let's get into it. Here with
Cece.
So my question to you is, as a college student, what are some struggles that you feel like nobody really talks about?
I feel like a lot of struggles that nobody talks about is like the pressure to perform. In high school they kind of told us like, oh yeah, it's going to be on your own and no one's going to sit there and hold your hand. But I think a lot of people don't actually understand that until after their first year of college. So I think that one's a big one.
Hi, I'm here with
Ruby.
So my question to you are, what are some struggles that you face as a college student that you feel like a lot of people don't talk about?
So, I mean, a lot of people talk about like mental health and stuff like that, but I really feel like it's not like brought up enough on like college campuses. Yeah, there's like resources, but like a lot of people don't really talk about like what they're facing and stuff like that. And that's something that I've like struggled with a lot. Not only that, but like just like trying to balance life in general with like your studies, and sometimes just life gets away, and like you also have to like you think about the future a lot. Like that's one thing that I've struggled with, and I know a lot of other people struggle with it as well, is like, what do you want to be in the future? And that is something that like stays on my mind like 24/7. Like, what if this isn't the right major for me, or like what if this isn't like what I want to do in the future, and like what if like I'm not going to be happy in the future with what I'm doing. So I definitely feel like that's something that's not talked about enough. Like people not having like a direction on where to go in life. And just trying to balance all that. So,
I feel that.
Hi, I'm here with
Katie.
Katie. Okay, so my question to you is, what are some struggles that you face as a college student that you feel like a lot of people don't talk about, especially post-pandemic?
I think it's definitely time management, trying to like make sure that you are getting money for school and being able to like transport yourself and just being able to manage that time. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm here with
Raven.
Adri.
Katie.
So my question to you is, what are some of the struggles that you face as a college student that a lot of people don't really talk about?
In my opinion, after the pandemic, a lot of our classes were online. And nowadays, like at UNLV, in my opinion, there are a decent amount of bad professors. And if you pair that with being online, it's hard for them to actually teach. And like for all their like the subjects within classes to get to the students.
For me, I'm gonna go with mental health because I knew it would be a struggle going into college, but I didn't know how bad it would be until like recently. I think that it's been really hard to go to class lately, and there's not much like campus can really do with that or like offer, I guess, unless you kind of go do it yourself, if that makes sense. It's just there's like a lot of issues with motivation and effort.
Do you feel like your professors care about you or understand what you're going through because of the pandemic?
Sometimes I have emailed professors. I've told them my mental health has not been it lately. Some of them have been understanding, saying that they'll give extensions, especially since I've contacted them. Others kind of just tell you, well, that's your fault. I've been told that, so
I feel like since it's like COVID heavy, they kind of just only excuse you if you have COVID. So if you get like the flu or you really don't feel good and you don't have COVID, then because a lot of my classes are more like attendance heavy, and so they're like, if you miss 2 classes, then might as well drop the class because you're gonna fail for me. And so if you don't have COVID and you get like the flu or something and you're throwing up and it's not COVID, they're not gonna excuse you, and then your grade is gonna drop, and then that's gonna put a lot on you. And then now you have to like make everything perfect or else you won't pass the class. And you need every credit you need because you ain't trying to retake it. It costs money. Every dollar down the drain.
I'm here with
Miguel.
Okay, so my question to you is, what are some struggles you face as a college student, especially like post-pandemic, that nobody really talks about?
Well, that's hard, actually. The whole professor thing is actually really accurate. I see a lot of my professors, well, actually the curriculum changed a lot for, let's say, physics and whatnot. Specifically, let's say labs, actually.
Really?
Yeah, there's no more finals and stuff, so yeah, there's no finals at least this semester, post-pandemic and stuff, and I kind of just wing it and stuff. I don't really care as much to like put in the work anymore, and I feel like I'm not learning much anymore.
What? Do you feel like your professors like care about you? Like, do they show that like I'm concerned about you or trying to help you out, or is it just
Not as much. Not as much, I would say.
I'm sorry about that. That sucks.
So I am here with
Malachi.
Okay. So my question to you is, what are some of the struggles that you face as a college student, especially post-pandemic, that people don't talk about?
Getting to like actually communicate with one another, especially when you're coming back from like post-pandemic, getting one to know each other, because especially you're just sitting in the screen and then you're back in class and you have to get back into the room of talking with another, collaborating with another, and sometimes just you would usually have all this time to spend with the person, but not anymore. Instead, you have to jump right back into it and get used to it, and then interacting with one another, that kind of stuff.
Trevor, but my homies call me Trav.
Okay. So my question to you is, what are some college struggles that you face that you feel like a lot of people don't talk about?
Like here, or just in general?
In general, or here?
Here, being black, it's not a lot of us. But then in general, I would say unlearning what you learned in high school. Everything they told you in high school was like kind of BS. Like, professors really do want to help you. They don't hold your hand, but they do reach out and be like, hey, like, you messing up a little bit, like, get on track. Also, like, coming in thinking it was harder, because it was actually a lot easier than high school was. So yeah.
So I'm here with Kelly. So my question to you is, what are some college struggles that you face that you feel like a lot of people don't talk about, especially like post-pandemic?
Definitely like how hard it is to make friends like around campus, especially coming from back on like from online back to in person. 100%. And then just managing like work and school. No one ever talks about how hard it is. Like, yes, I did it in high school, but being in college and doing it, it's a lot different.
Completely different.
Yeah. And no one talks about like how hard it is to just juggle everything, and how you're just like finding out who you are and stuff like that. And that's what college is about, and I feel like no one ever tells you that.
So I am here with
Sanaya.
So my question to you is, what are some college struggles that you feel like nobody talks about, especially post-pandemic?
Post-pandemic, I would say like getting in like the process of like schoolwork and everything, because during my senior year, I'm class of 21. During my senior year, it was all online. I still had a prom and a graduation ceremony, but it was just like mass requirement or whatever. But I would say like the workload, yeah, it's college, but literally like you give me like a lot of work, you know, and all of my classes are in person. I never had a web-based class or anything like that. So I would just say that. And like expensive, you know, things are expensive. And it's just like, how am I going to get the money when I don't have a job because of like the pandemic and everything? So yeah, I would say that.
I'm here with
Kira. Hi.
So my question to you are, what are some of the college struggles that you face, and like especially post-pandemic, that people don't really talk about?
I think getting connected to your community can be especially hard. Here at UNLV, we're not a super dorm-heavy campus, so getting in touch with your community can be really, really difficult, especially post-COVID, after being in a pandemic and being isolated from everyone. It's hard to get connected. So the best way that I've found to get connected on campus is to join your RSOs, find some interest in different clubs, and everyone is usually super, super supportive, and you'll definitely be able to find a sense of community, and that is my advice for getting connected.
So I am here with
Kaiser Berry.
So my question to you are, what are some of the college struggles that you feel like you face that a lot of people don't really talk about?
The first one would have to be time management. I feel like a lot of people talk about it still, but it's like one of the main struggles, because like you never have enough time to do everything. You gotta have like a social life, you gotta focus on schoolwork, you gotta work, you know what I'm saying? You can't be a broke college student. So it's like, it's a hassle, you know what I'm saying? And then money. Money is the main problem. Like, I'm gonna keep it on it. If you had like money in college, you'd be fine. It's just, that's the main issue.
Money. Do you feel like your professors like care about you?
Select ones do. Majority, they don't. But select ones be like, oh, okay, you need help or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's 50-50.
So I am here with
Christian.
So my question to you is, what are some college struggles that you're facing as a college student, and especially post-pandemic, that people don't talk about?
That's a very good question. I think just anywhere, even post-pandemic, I think people have kind of a stigma about kind of socializing and kind of being out there that makes it a little bit harder for freshmen or even like whatever grade you're in to just kind of get out there a little bit. And it's like an unspoken thing kind of, oh, do I get out there? It's a little weird, especially for people that are still in the whole thing about being safe and all. So it is one of the struggles, is just kind of getting out there a little bit and mingling. But, it's part of life, I guess. So, yeah.
So the moral of the story that I got from all my interviews and talking to different people is that people are going through a lot, and you don't really know how much they're going through unless you start that conversation. But people are really going through it, and being a college student is hard enough as it is, like I mentioned before. But if you have a sense of community, you have support, you have people there for you, it makes it a lot easier. And the sad part about it is a lot of people don't have that. I hope you guys like this video, and I hope it shed some light. Thank you so much to all the people that allowed me to interview them. And shout out to Chris. He helped me make this whole video. Chris, you are the best. Thank you so much for helping me. I really appreciate it. Please leave your comments down below if you are a college student, or various struggles. I'd love to hear from you guys. I love you guys. Stay inspired. Bye.